Today we're out here filming the 11.5 inch Palmetto State Armory AR pistol, and this one has an echo trigger installed in it. And that echo trigger is fun. Welcome back to SB Tactical. This week we have a really fun video for you guys. I am doing a thorough review slash whatever. I'm going over probably my favorite gun, or at least the one that to me is the most fun. And that is my Palmetto State Armory 11.5 inch AR pistol. And we'll go over what makes it a pistol versus a rifle, and just basically everything about it, what makes it such a versatile, useful weapon. But first I want to say some things about Palmetto State Armory just in general as a company. I have a lot of respect for Palmetto State Armory. I saw something about them at SHOT Show where one of their representatives was talking, and whoever was interviewing the guy asked him how they're able to put out such high quality guns at such affordable prices. Because Palmetto State Armory has been known for a long time to be kind of a budget firearms manufacturer. But they've gained a reputation in the last few years of being much more than that. The firearms that they are producing are very, very high quality. Their quality control has gone way up, and they're producing things that, all across the gamut, from the Dagger, Glock clone, all the way to their working on an MP5 clone right now. They've got ARs, they've got AKs, they've got pistol caliber carbines. They've just got a lot of really cool, exciting things coming out, and but for a long time they've been known as a maker of AR-15s that are affordable. And so what their representative said there at SHOT Show that really stuck with me, when he was asked how they're able to produce, such good firearms at such an affordable price, he said that their company stands for more than just making money, that what they're trying to do is actually supporting the Second Amendment in trying to get AR-15s and AKs into as many people's hands as possible in order to further the whole idea of common use. Because once something is in common use, it's much harder for the anti-gun people to put a ban on it. Because if there's enough of them out there, how are you going to ban something that everyone already has? And so I had a lot of respect for that. And it just makes me want to support their company even more. And I've spent quite a bit of money with Palmetto State Armory already, and I plan to spend more with them. They make a lot of exciting things. I've got one of their ARs here. I've also got their 3.5 pound match trigger in my other AR. And I believe my next firearm purchase is going to be a pistol caliber carbine. And I'm really looking at their 9mm ARV. Specifically because it's a PCC, but instead of taking Glock mags like so many others do, it takes CZ Scorpion mags, or actually Palmetto State Armory makes their own CZ Scorpion mags, which to me, for one, I think they just look better. They kind of have that curve out, which I like a lot better than like a Glock mag that comes, angled back like a pistol. And because of those type of magazines, it has last round bolt hold open. But besides that, they've got tons of models of the ARV. And they, from everything that I could tell, they look really cool. So I believe that's what I'm going to get next. But today's video is about my PSA 11.5 inch AR pistol. And so we're going to go over all that. And but first, like I always ask, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, please leave us a like. And at the end of the video, I'm going to ask a few things for you to comment on, but All those comments help us. It helps with the algorithm, helps us get our video out there to a bigger audience. So that is very helpful. And if you could share this with the people that you know are into firearms related content, I would really appreciate it. So PSA 11.5-inch AR pistol, shooting PMC bronze 223 Remington. I actually really love this ammo. It's not expensive, but it's really clean and reliable. Whew. That's fun. So this is my Palmetto State Armory 11.5-inch AR pistol. Now it has been upgraded and has a few things added to it. Obviously, this is my home defense carbine, the one that I actually made a home defense carbine setup video about this a while back. But this video is going to be about the PSA AR itself more than the accessories. I'll quickly go over what's on it. It came with an A2 flash hider, birdcage flash hider on it. I've replaced that with the Strike Industries King Comp. Greatly reduces the felt recoil and muzzle rise. Also have a Strike Industries Oppressor that, screws on here just like a suppressor would, but it's an oppressor, not a suppressor. I have got a weapon mounted light as a Crimson Trace. It's got a pressure pad on top here. I've got a Magpul angled foregrip. I've got backup sights. Sauer Romeo 5 red dot. I really like this red dot. It's got shake awake and it's very affordable. And I've got a sling on here. Can't remember the brand, but it's a good sling. I like it a lot. Besides that, I've got a Magpul bad lever and a Fostech Echo trigger. But that's not really what the video is about. The video is about this AR itself. And it's for the money. This thing is fantastic. I got it for $560, I believe, and that was at the height of the COVID, gun buying pandemic craziness where everything, was jacked up in prices. Still got this for $560. And I've been extremely happy with it. So let's go from front to back real quick. It came with the A2 birdcage flash hider. Replaced that, but it's got an 11.5-inch 4150 chrome ollie vanadium barrel. It's a 1 in 7 twist, I believe. It's got a 10.5-inch M-Lok rail on it with Picatinny on the top right here and up front where you can mount a front sight, but it's actually cut out right here for ergonomics for holding it, but that also worked really well for mounting the pressure pad for my light. It was kind of a perfect little indentation there for that, which was nice. It's got a low profile gas block underneath there, obviously. Carbine length gas system. Full length Picatinny on the top. Came with a PMag. I've got a bunch more PMags for it. The trigger that was in it was their EPT, which is the enhanced, God, I always forget this for some reason, enhanced polish trigger. And it's just basically a little bit of a step up from a mil spec. It's basically a mil spec trigger. It was perfectly fine, to be honest, but I really wanted a binary trigger, so I dropped the Echo trigger in it. The bolt carrier group, it is magnetic particle inspected and high pressure tested. I haven't had any problems with it. It's a very decent bolt carrier group. It's not chrome lined like the one that came in my Smith & Wesson, but hasn't given me any issues whatsoever. Forged upper and lower fit together just incredibly well. So there is absolutely no movement between this upper and lower. It is solid. And even some of the very high-end companies that make AR-15s still have a little bit of rattle. There is no rattle in this gun. The only thing you might be hearing is my sling slapping against it. The thing is, it's tight. I've been very impressed with the quality, especially for the price, but I almost don't even need to say especially for the price with this. They really do a great job, and that's what makes me want to buy more of their products. You know, I'll probably get a dagger at some point. I definitely plan on getting an ARV and maybe even an AKV. Those things look awesome. You know, I guarantee this isn't the last Palmetto State gun that I'll get. A lot of us don't have the money to get BCM and Geisley and stuff. You know, maybe someday, we'll see. But I can get a lot more really fun guns from Palmetto State Armory than I can from some of those other companies. But coming back from there, it came with the Magpul MOE pistol grip. Came with the SB Tactical SBA3 pistol brace. And this is a brace. It is not a stock. So let me explain that real quick. This is an AR-15 pistol. And just in case you are not aware yet, there is a difference between a pistol and a rifle. So a rifle, according to the National Firearms Act and the ATF, has to have at least a 16-inch barrel to be considered a rifle. Anything less than that, if you have a stock on it, is a short-barreled rifle. And that is subject to the National Firearms Act, the Gun Control Act, and a $200 tax stamp, and a long wait time to get it approved before you're even allowed to take possession of it once you've already paid for it, hundreds or even thousands of dollars. What this is an AR pistol. And the really cool thing about that is this is a pistol brace, not a stock. It's not designed to be shouldered like a stock is, but it is designed as a third point of contact, where you can either use it as a cheek weld, or the way it's really designed is it's got Velcro on here. The Velcro comes off, your arm slips inside there, and then you can shoot the thing one-handed if you'd like, and it'll brace your arm. It was made for injured veterans to be able to, you know, use their Second Amendment rights without having to. That's what it was made for. It was for injured veterans. Let's just put it that way. But it has become something very much in common use. Let's hope that they don't take that away from us, because there are millions of these pistol braces out there now. And they're a really great thing because they make it so that a person can own something like this without going through the NFA, because it is not a short-barreled rifle. It is a pistol. And there's nothing about this that's more dangerous than a rifle with a 16-inch barrel. There's just not. In fact, if anything, it's a little bit less dangerous because with the shorter barrel, you get less velocity out of your 223 5.56 cartridge. So, if anything, it's less dangerous. But there are some rules that you have to abide by with an AR pistol that you don't with a rifle. With a rifle, you can put a vertical foregrip on it. With a pistol, you cannot. And the thinking behind that is that a pistol is something that's supposed to be designed to shoot with one hand. Now, the funny thing about that is, how many people do you know that shoot a pistol one-handed regularly? The normal way to shoot a pistol is with two hands. So the logic there is a little bit flawed in my opinion, but it is what it is. What you are allowed to do is put a vertical foregrip on it. So that's what I have on this, and it works great. I really like the vertical foregrip. I really like the angled foregrip, excuse me. I like a vertical foregrip too, but more as a hand stop. I don't hold it like this, like a broomstick. So the angled foregrip does very well for that purpose as well. I basically put my pointer finger in front of it here and use it to pull it back, and it's just really easy to get good leverage on it that way. So angle foregrip works really well. And the ergonomics of this thing are just fantastic. The thing about the 11.5-inch barrel, to me, it felt like about the perfect length. So people get ARs in all kinds of sizes, from, there are 18-inch, 20-inch barrels, even like an A2, M16, M4 has a 14.5-inch. But if you want to own one of those as a civilian, you have to get a pinned and welded muzzle device on it, which brings your overall barrel length to the legal length of 16 inches. As you go shorter, there are some issues you can run into. So there's something called dwell time. Now, that is the time, but after you fire a round and the bullet is traveling out the barrel, there's an amount of time between when the bullet passes your gas block and leaves the end of the muzzle. That is your dwell time. And that is the time when there is gas pressure coming up your gas block, down your gas tube to cycle the action right here. And you need enough dwell time to cycle your weapon reliably. So that's also the reason why you have a carbine length gas system and something like this, rather than like a mid-length. You'd have your gas block all the way at the end here. You need enough dwell time. And the shorter your barrel is, the shorter your dwell time is going to be. Also, the other thing you need to deal with that, as your barrel gets shorter, you lose velocity on the 5.56 or the 2.23 cartridge. And the reason for that being, the entire time the bullet is traveling down the barrel, there is pressure behind it, and so it is picking up velocity. Now, the longer the barrel, the more time the bullet has to pick up velocity, because the 5.56 cartridge was designed to shoot out of a 20 or a 24-inch barrel. And so I think it takes between 20 and 24 inches to get full powder burn out of that. Anything shorter than that, you're going to lose some velocity. So even with a 16-inch barrel, you're going to get less velocity than you would out of like a 18, 20, or 24-inch barrel. But as you go shorter than that, it really starts to make a difference. 10.3, 10.5 is probably the smallest you can go, and realistically still get decent terminal ballistics out of your 5.56. 11.5 is generally considered to be kind of that Goldilocks area. It is short enough compared to a 16-inch barrel to really be much more maneuverable and usable in a CQB type setting, which that's exactly what home defense is CQB, close quarters battle. When you're in your home, you have rooms, hallways, kitchen, whatever you're moving around in. If you needed to clear your home, if there was an intruder in there or something, you don't want something so long that you're going to be running the barrel into walls. You're going to have to carry it like this. You want something as short a barrel as you can go, but still be effective and still have the dwell time to be reliable. And to me, 11.5 inches is about that perfect length. I've been extremely happy with the reliability of this. This gun actually has been more reliable than my Smith & Wesson. The only small issue that I've had at all, I think, has nothing to do with the gun itself. It might have to do with the bad lever. Every once in a while, the bolt doesn't lock open on the last round, but it never did that before I installed the bad lever. I think that it just kind of pushes on here and causes that to happen sometimes. And really, that only happens when I'm firing really fast with the binary trigger. Every once in a while, it won't lock open on the last round. And I just got to double check my gun, make sure it's clear. Not ideal, but you got to weigh your benefits with your cons of some of these things. And I really like the bad lever for the manual of arms. It's really nice when I do a reload to be able to just click the bolt forward with my trigger finger and go right back onto the trigger if I want to. So it's something that I'm going to have to decide if I want to keep it or not. But at the moment, it's more good than bad in my opinion. And I feel the same way about the Echo trigger. I don't think the trigger is the problem, but it seems to only happen when there's really high rates of fire. And the Echo trigger is a lot of fun. That's kind of what makes this my favorite gun. In fact, I bought this gun around the Echo trigger. That was the whole reason I got this. I already had an AR-15. This AR from Smith & Wesson came with the, the standard AR-15 bolt carrier group that has the semi-auto cut on the back of it. You can't run an Echo trigger with that. You have to have the full auto bolt carrier group. And this one had that, and I really wanted an AR pistol. And so I got this so that I could install the Echo trigger. And it really just is a ton of fun to shoot. I'm going to show you some range footage with that. It's so much fun, in fact, that I have a hard time shooting this gun in standard semi-auto. Because every time I take a few shots, I just want to throw it in Echo mode and just mag dump. It's just a lot of fun. It's something I got to work on. Once springtime comes around and I can bring my steel plates back out and work on my accuracy a little better, I'm sure I'll do some more standard semi-auto training with this. But for now, hiking out there in the snow, it's fun to just mag dump. I gotta admit it. And this gun handles it really well. It's very reliable. I've had like one failure, and I'm not even sure what it was, but it'll be in this video because it was just the other day. I was out there running the Echo trigger, a round failed to fire, racked it, live round came out, went right back to it, went through the rest of the mag just fine, picked the round up, nothing wrong with it, loaded it, fired it, worked great. So I'm not really sure exactly what that was, but that's the only failure I think I've had with this gun whatsoever, besides the bolt lock not locking back on the last round sometimes. I can't say enough good things about Palmetto State Armory, honestly. This gun is an incredible value. I don't see any difference in quality between this and my Smith & Wesson. Now, mind you, the Smith & Wesson is known as a bit of a budget offering as well. I've built it out to be a pretty, high-end tactical kind of rifle, but it's, less than $1,000 for sure when you buy it. This one, though, it was, $600 shipped with the transfer fee with tax. That's a dang good deal, especially when you get, the SBA3, the MOE, you get the full length, M-Lok handguard with it already. It's a really fantastic gun. It's got your QD sling swivel attachments. I can run a sling on it really easily. It's an AR-15. You guys know what an AR-15 is. But I honestly, Palmetto State Armory has my respect, and they'll be getting more of my money, honestly. Unless they want to start supporting this channel at some times. Hint, hint. But, yeah, man. Love this AR. PSA, 11.5-inch AR-15. It's fantastic. So I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to collect quite a few firearms. It's definitely become a passion of mine, something I'm really interested in, and something I really want to share with you guys. And this PSA 11.5-inch AR is one of, if not my favorite. I just love the thing. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of how they save you some money there. So, it comes in just a cardboard box like this. What you get with it is, a gun lock and a manual and a chamber flag. That's it. Oh, and one PMAG, one Magpul PMAG Gen 2. So, you know, there's not a whole lot of bells and whistles and crazy stuff like that. It's fairly basic when you get it before you add all the stuff that I have. But it's a perfect platform to upgrade. It was one of those ones after I spent all the time upgrading this thing and, you know, going through different parts and accessories, realizing what I didn't want, replacing those, spending more money. When it came to this one, I knew exactly what I wanted to do and only bought the things that I knew I wanted to put on it. And I just built it out exactly how I wanted. It's got my light, it's got my backup sights, angled foregrip, it's got the Echo trigger, SBA3 brace, red dot. It's like the perfect CQB home defense platform, and it works great for that. I hope I don't ever need to use it for that, but if I do, I mean, it's just about as ideal as it gets. Now, I know with an 11.5-inch barrel, if I have to fire the thing indoors, it's gonna blow my eardrums out. And that's part of the reason that I got the Oppressor for it here. I haven't used this thing indoors yet, but it is supposed to help with a little bit of that concussion and sound. It is by no means a suppressor, which would help a lot more. But it's also nice when you're on the range. I put the muzzle brake on it, and it helps to control recoil amazingly well. But when you're the shooter, it's fantastic. If you're anybody else around, it's painful. I've had other people shooting this, and I've been, you know, on the side watching them, and it is gnarly. It feels like you're getting punched in the face every time they pull the trigger. And if they're running the Echo trigger, it's like getting punched in the face over and over and over again really quickly. So that's part of what this is for. But anyway, I honestly, I can't say enough good things about Palmetto State Armory, about the AR-15 of theirs that I own. I plan to get more of their products in the future, and I recommend them to anybody. I really do. In fact, I have a hard time. I'm on their email list, and I get their daily deals and stuff all the time, and there's just always things popping up that I'm just like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. You know what I mean? I want to get a 300 blackout upper. That way I can, you know, run that suppressed. Or I want to get the 9mm ARV PCC. Before I got my Romanian AK, I was looking seriously at their AKs. They've got, you know, for about $1,000, they've got what I've been told are very, very high quality AKs. And not just like a standard AKM. They've got those, you know, AKM, AK-47 style with the stamped receiver, but forged, trunnion, chrome line, cold hammer forged barrels. I mean, they're really good AKs. But they also are doing like an AK-103. They've got an AK-74. I think they've got a 5.56 AK now. They've got the ARV 9mm. They're just, you know, they've got the PSA Jackal. They've got the Dagger, the, you know, Gen 3 Glock clone, which now they're coming out with, you know, slides for that are RMR cut with, you know, and it's got threaded barrels and everything else for like less than $500. You can get a gun that if you took a Glock 19 and upgraded to that, it would cost you easily twice as much. So it's just amazing what you can get from these guys and the value that you get from PSA. And, you know, like I said, I've got their trigger in this AR, and it was $100, and it feels like a $200 trigger, you know? I've tested other triggers that my friends have that are more expensive, some CMC, Geisley triggers. This trigger is dang good. It feels better than like a CMC that I've used, you know? So I highly recommend any of PSA's products. I've heard that they've had some issues with quality control in the past, but as far as what I can tell, those have mostly been rectified. And if you do have an issue, it sounds like they take care of it for you no matter what. So, you know, get on their email list, check their stuff out. I am, by any means, I am not sponsored by Palmetto State Armory. I just believe in what they do. I love their products, and I think they're a really cool company. So if you agree with me, let me know in the comments. People seem to either love or hate them. They kind of have a cult-like following. But a lot of people that, you know, only pay for higher end stuff, Daniel Defense, BCM, Geisley, those kinds of things. You know, they think that only us poors run Palmetto State Armory, but this PSA gun runs great. I have no problems with it whatsoever. It looks great, it's easy to upgrade, and it just runs. It's reliable, it's accurate. What more can you ask for, really? And coming in at, you know, half the price of a of a Daniel Defense or a BCM, I mean, count me in. So let me know what you think. Do you have Palmetto State Armory products? If you have an ARV, please let me know what you think about that, because that's what I'm thinking about getting next. I really want a 9mm PCC, and I just like the fact that it takes a Scorpion mags rather than the Glock mags, has last round bolt hold open, and they look really cool. And from what I can tell, they are direct blowback, but I believe everybody says they have extremely low recoil, easy to control, and it just looks like a really fun gun to shoot and you know, just to use at the range. Maybe you have another home defense type gun, you know, 9mm going off from the side is going to hurt your eardrums a heck of a lot less than 5.56 is. But let me know your experiences with Palmetto State Armory, good or bad. The more I know, the better. I'd love to share knowledge with you guys, but I would love for you guys to share knowledge with me as well. If you like this video, please drop us a like. Please share this with your friends. And please subscribe to the channel. There's plenty more content like this coming. And yeah, we're having a lot of fun doing this and working on growing the channel every week. So thanks for watching. Please also, we do have a Patreon set up now. We're working on setting up that whole Patreon account and the page. But, you know, it has become very expensive to do all this. I have to constantly get new firearms, go through a lot of ammo, and if you guys do want to support the channel in any way, even the smallest bit will really, really help, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks. Oh, remember, stay strapped or get clapped. Till next week.